So in order to determine what our starting point is, we need to figure out what the hue of our hair is, what the value of our hair is, and what the chroma of our hair is. And in your comment, you have answered 2 of the 3 questions. We know that the hue is a bluish gray. We also know that the chroma is kind of grayish, so it's not going to be very vibrant bluish color. It's going to be a little bit more muted, closer towards the center of the color globe. But here's where we get stuck. We don't know the value of the bluish gray color, how dark it is or how pastel it is. And unfortunately, this question that is going unanswered is detrimental to the formulation of what we are going to put on our bluish gray to balance it or shift the color to another color across the color globe. Now, in my opinion, I think that the level or the value of the color that you're starting with is the most overlooked part of formulating hair color, especially if we go into the more natural lift of people's virgin hair. If someone is a level 9 yellow, we know that, but what if somebody's like a level 6 yellow? Have you ever seen a level 6 yellow? It's kind of gross. Or have you ever seen a level 9 red? Like, these are very different colors that we are not expecting at specific levels, but every single level has their own set of hues. So you can be a level 4 yellow or a level 9 yellow or a level 5 red or a level 9 red, because most color lines do formulate all of their pigments per level in their entire system. So if you do have the awkward level 4 yellow, they will have a level 4 violet to be able to counteract that and balance a level 4 yellow. But people hear a yellow undertone, they automatically think a level 9 because that's naturally where it lives. But like I've said before, you can have any reflection at any level. But circling back to our blue, gray, faded purple, I'm assuming that your purple was probably a darker purple, maybe like a level 4, level 3 vibes, because once you get upwards into like level 6s, that's where you're getting your like electric purples, and then up here you're getting your pastel purple. And if my guessing was correct, if we did start with a very dark purple, as it's fading, you probably had it over a super blonde, so that's why it's fading kind of like that bluish grayish color this way. But I'm unsure of how much this purple has shifted to blue and how light in value it has gone. That's honestly a question that can only be answered in person when I physically look at your hair in person. But another way that we can actually look at this is if we've determined that it is a bluish grayish reflection in your hair, this will give you a little bit better visual of like where on this spectrum is your hair. Will help us determine the level. So for argument's sake, let's say that we have decided that our hair is like on this level here. It's kind of a grayish color, but maybe not quite as purpley as this. It might be like a mix between these two. So we can grab the corresponding color wheel that fits in right here. So this is the full spectrum of this level of value. Then we can really see, is it probably somewhere right in here? Because if we are somewhere in this area of the spectrum, generally speaking, you cannot go back outside of the highly chromatic area of the color wheel without removing pigment from the hair. You'll have to either stay muted like this or go to a darker value level, something like this. So if you do go darker in value by a shade or two, you have a lot more room of achieving more highly chromatic colors when you go darker than what you're starting with. But if you're wanting to be very highly chromatic on anything in this spectrum, you're definitely going to have to remove pigment from the hair to basically get this like bluish color to kind of come back out this way and then up in value. Does this make sense?